Good evening and welcome to NAS Watch, a place where you get all the latest information when it comes to your National Assembly. Today on the show, we will be focusing on the Senate. Well, it is no news that a lot is happening, especially with the Women's Day Brahaha, talking about the news that broke out between Monday and Tuesday that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan was removed and replaced with a man for the UN outing. Well, that is one conversation I would have brought to you today on the show, but I think we're going to leave that for our next episode, knowing that March still remains the Women's Month. So even if I discuss that next Friday, hopefully we will be able to get into Natasha to, have a word with us. But for this week, we have something that we've carefully planned out for you. A brief story of what have happened this week. We had the Senate screening of Taiwo Oyedele, and of course, he was approved. Well, it's no news to me. It's definitely going to be approved. My name is Cynthia Agbo. Welcome to NAS Watch. We're going on a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive straight into what we have to talk about with you. All right, welcome back. Is NAS Watch. Now, I was strolling through the walls of the National Assembly, and then I came in contact with Senator Diket Plang. He is the senator representing Plateau Central Senatorial District. And it was quite interesting because I was torn between having to talk to him about the electoral transmission or talking to him about what he's doing in his district. But I just thought to myself, we could have a bit of both worlds, right? Let's get to meet Senator Diket Plang.
I'm Senator Diket Plang. I represent Plateau Central in the 10th Senate. I'm the Chairman Senate Committee on Labor, Employment and Productivity, and the Vice Chairman Federal Character. I am in my first term in the Senate, and I've spent almost 3 years in the Senate. I came in 2023, and graciously I am opportune to chair a committee from the onset of the 10th Senate. I came in the 10th Senate, and I've been able to have several programs, projects, motions, bills for my constituents. I have 2 bills that have undergone 3rd reading, and the first was the bill for the establishment of the Federal University of Mining and Geosciences in Jos. That's to upgrade that Institute of Mines and Geosciences in Jos that offers postgraduate courses to a full-fledged university. Nigeria has University of Agriculture because we have agricultural resources. Nigeria has Petroleum University because we have a lot of hydrocarbon deposit. We also have University of Marine because of our waterways. Nigeria have University of Science and Technology because we live in a scientific and a technological world. Nigeria is immensely blessed in minerals or in mineralogy, and we need to have a university to study our God's given natural resources. And that's why I moved that bill that has undergone third reading has been passed by the Senate. I also had a bill for the establishment of Federal Medical Center in one of my local government, Kankie, which also has been passed by the National Assembly. I have other bills at 2nd reading, a bill for the establishment of Institute of Water Resources in Chip. I have another bill that has undergone 2nd reading and public hearing for the establishment of a federal eye center in Pushit in Mangu Local Government Council. I also have a bill for the establishment of an innovation and artificial intelligence center in Jos. I also have a bill too for to make it compulsory for Nigeria to establish at least one or more vocational technical schools in all the states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory. These are bills that I have, and about bills, I've moved several motions. One of my most important motion was a motion for the Mr. President to adapt the Akwanga Jos Bauchi Gombe Road as a legacy project, which was passed, and Mr. President has passionately taken it, and it has become this fourth agenda of Mr. President's legacy project, and contract has been awarded. I also move a motion for lots of insecurity in my constituency, particularly in Bokos and several other places. And I've also supported several motions.
All right.
That's about lawmaking and motion in the Senate. I've also been able to attract some projects in my constituency, such as I've been able to perimeter fencing in most of the over 7 secondary schools in my state to provide protection, and also to reduce land intrusion, and also to provide a safe place for learning in secondary schools in my constituency. I've also been able to provide solar light in most communities for the purpose of security. And I've also been able to attract a computer and ICT center to the state university through NIDDA. I've also been able to provide several motorized boreholes and several hand bomb boreholes in my constituency, I think over 15. And also I have been able to place some rural roads for laterite filling and improvement on drainages. I've done that too. Some are ongoing. I've been able to assist in the perimeter fencing of some police stations, police outposts in my constituency to protect the police. And I've built in Takas and Gindri and Kantana, I built a police outpost for them, and also small staff quarters for the policemen to stay. I've also been able to construct, renovate some primary health centers, and also built examination centers in some secondary schools in my constituency. I've also done a lot of empowerment for my people. I've provided grants to assist my people. I've supplied over 13 trucks of fertilizer, 1 for seasonal farmers and 2 for irrigation farmers. I also supply farmers, selected farmers, with over 300 pumping machines for dry season or irrigation farming. I've also been able to supply insecticides, pesticides, and so on to farmers. I've celebrated Christmas with food support to my constituents. Yesterday, I just finished a program of supplying food items to our Muslim brothers who are fasting, observing the Ramadan. And I've done that yearly. I've been able to lobby around and got employment for over 130 graduates of my constituency in various government agencies, ministries, and parastatals. I've also been able to send for the first time 4 students to India to read medical science courses on my own personal scholarship as a litmus test there in India. I've assisted a lot of people with school fees. I've assisted a lot of people with settling medical bills. I've joined several families to celebrate their weddings, sympathize with those who lost their loved ones with financial support. That's about me.
All right. And so that is just a bio of who he is. Now, many things have been said about Senator Diket Plang. But then in this next conversation, we delve deep into it. We asked questions ranging from the current administration, talking about what the president is doing to help Nigerians. We talked about his involvement in voicing out the thoughts of the people. We also talked about what the senator is doing in terms of handling insecurity and his contribution. We definitely talked about who a good leader is and why there was so much struggle to agree to electronic transmission of results, because that was a very heated debate, at the Senate. These and many more the things we talked about. Let's get to hear it.
I arrived here not from London, neither did I arrive here from Abuja. I arrived from the village. I started my political career as an elected councillor. From elected councillor, I was local government chairman. From local government chairman, I was PA to Governor Daria when I was governor. Then I was also appointed by Obasanjo as NAPEP coordinator under the presidency, in charge of taking care of Plateau State. I was also commissioner for science and technology in my village, in my state. I was also elected into the House of Assembly as member representing my state constituency in the State House Assembly. I was also appointed by Governor Jang as special advisor on intergovernmental affairs. And then the last governor, Governor Lalong, also appointed me as special advisor to the governor on not media, on how, as an advisor to him. It has to do with protocol. Well, I was an advisor to Jam. I'm saying so before I contested and come to Senate. I live with the people. I live with the people. I'm very ordinary. Yeah, very ordinary. I live with the people. I know what pinches my people. I can only meet a little of their needs. I'm fencing schools because of insecurity, kidnapping and insecurity. Our children need to be kept. And apart from that, the academic environment is supposed to be separated from the society. You don't have an open school where passerbys can come and rest in the school. Some people come and stay under the shed and then do immoral things. And then the students must not come from all directions. Let there be an entry gate and an exit gate. Other students are appearing from different, there will be no control of criminality. So I do this to improve, protect, and also to protect the land. Most of the schools is that land is donated. And someone who donated land might have gone. The children will wake up and say, no, they don't agree. So they fence the school so that there will be no land intrusion. These are the fundamental reasons that I do those things, and I think it's beneficial. I also provided solar light at places that are very insecure. Light chases criminality. So that's why I did all those ones. And I also provided grinding machines, industrial grinding machines to rural women, so that, we have grains. We are more into grains, and our food are mostly swallow, and the women have to go and grind. So I provided and donated to youth, and I've bought over 100 pieces of industrial, not marcade, not the one for tomatoes, industrial grinding machine. I've done, well, I do most of the things that I know my people. I'm not coming from an educated family. My parents were, my mother is alive, my father is gone, but my parents were poor farmers, and I grew up farming. So I know I'm just a villager. I'm just here as an opportunity. It's just an opportunity, grace of God. So I believe that what I did, what I have done, are what I feel and my people feel.
Okay, some persons describe your political philosophy as being anchored on grassroots development, which of course is some of the things I'm sure you've heard that before, which is of course is evident in some of the things that you've talked about, the things you provide for your people. You've mentioned quite a number of things you've done for them, which now brings me to the question of budget. Some persons have complained that from where you come from, there's usually no much budget for funding of this project. So how do you do
the 2024 budget and 2025 budget, particularly less funding? What I do that I would tell you is that particularly my consensus projects, sometimes what I get, I finance them. Even if governor will not pay, they are for my people. I tell you, if I get little money, I give the contractor to do the job. I will benefit. Even if there will be no pay, it is for my people. I give you that assurance.
So when you say you will benefit, are you talking about the
no? What I mean,
or the...
even if my money will not come out,
okay,
it's for my people. If they give you job to supply fertilizer, and they've not mobilized you, and I mobilize you to supply the fertilizer, it is for my people. So even if they don't pay you to refund me my money, the job is with my people. But I have a lot of jobs that I lobby for. And also I place as my consensus project in my constituency. But because of lack of funding of capital project, I am unable to do most of the things I should have done. And it's massive.
Do you think that, let's now talk about, you mentioned insecurity as your foundation for making sure that the schools are covered and you do the best you can. Do you think that the issue of insecurity is being talked about a lot at the Senate in terms of how it affects your people? Do you think it's talked about? Do you think much attention is given?
The issue of insecurity has gone beyond imagination. But I feel that government is very determined to see to it that insecurity is brought to an end. However, one of the most cheering hope is the possibility of creating a state police where you will have the commander very close, where the governor will be the commander and headquarters is within the state. And if there are issues, there's a way it can be rapidly approached. I don't know how it will be. I pray that it will be well organized and equipped. And I think when you have the security closer in terms of human resources and also in terms of authority, close to the people, we'll be able to fight insecurity to the last.
You did mention state police.
I said state police now.
Yes, state police. Interestingly,
the hopeful part is the possibility of having a state police. And I said, if this is done and it is well established and equipped, I feel you not only have the personnel close to you, but you will have the personnel close to area of criminality and the authority close to area of criminality. And if you have the commanding officer, the all commanding officer is close and the personnel are close, you can easily rush insecurity and fight successfully insecurity.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Interestingly, the president has been very keen on state policing, and I mean, sooner or later we would have something very good on that. Let's now talk about how would you describe your style of representation for your people?
Well,
are they still able to assess you till now?
Yeah, I think that I feel fulfilled, that I believe in my constituents, I love them, and I'm doing my best for them. My best may not be enough, but I know consciously that they're in my heart. And I know that I think about them. And I would give them the best that I can. My best may not easily be seen by all. I know that God also sees what I do. I'm very satisfied with my effort.
Are you accessible to them?
Yeah, how why not? I've been home for about 1 week. The only thing that seems to separate us from people is insecurity. You can't go and move around in the village and sleep like we used to and walk across. It's unfortunate. Insecurity is separating us from our electorates. Very unfortunate. With or without money, even when you stay together and you condole each other for whatever difficulty we are passing through, it makes sense. But if you are not financially buoyant enough to help everybody, and you are not meeting to talk to one another, it looks like probably nonchalant attitude. But we still create time to be around with them.
I would want you to talk a bit about this. We saw that you launched a program, empowerment initiative, which is aimed at strengthening agriculture and small-scale businesses across the zone, and it was said to be about 1 billion empowerment initiative.
Disclaimer. The person is a disclaimer.
So you're disclaiming that?
Yeah. There's somebody who is cheating people, who is collecting money for forms, who is collecting some kind of money for using me in Facebook. It's a disclaimer. I don't know how to get out of that.
I think you want to look at the camera to say that so that your people don't fall for that.
Yeah, the person is a disclaimer. It's so sad. You'll be impersonating me, collecting money for forms, collecting some percentage of money for them to be giving loans. It's so sad. I've done all I could to make people know about this, but it has been very difficult. Sometimes he is Dr. Lawson, another time he's Dr. Somebody. It's so sad. There are people I had to refund some of the money they were deceived to collect from him. How wish everybody will know. And our system is so sad that even if you go to banks to find out where this money is paid to, it's very difficult to get. Sometimes they use OPay. It's so sad. I cannot collect money for form. Neither will I collect any money from you as percentage to enable you to obtain a loan from me. It's so sad now. I pray that this issue will go far and wide so that my people will not be defrauded. But that thief who bears the name Dr. Lawson, I'm so sad.
So let's just talk about very briefly, how would you describe the 10th Senate? People have described it in many words. People have said they've lost trust in its ability to defend its people, to represent its people well, to move bills and motions that really represent the interests of Nigerians. What are your thoughts on that, and how would you want to respond to that?
The different arms of government is not for clash, but it's for maximal output. We are very lucky that the 10th Senate or the legislative arm, National Assembly, has given birth to most of the executive. The president was a senator, his wife was a senator. President is a senator. The wife is also a senator. The vice president he was in the Senate. The chief of staff to Mr. President was a presiding officer in the National Assembly. And therefore, there is clear understanding of the role of the legislative arm of government by the executive that we are part of the legislature. So we will not easily have clash, because they know our role, they know what it is for us, and the implication of not doing the right thing. So for me, I think that this is one of the reasons that there is a robust relationship between the executive at the national level with the legislature. But for some, it's a weakness, which is not true. Another part too is that the National Assembly is a combination of very, very experienced people. The Senate in particular is like a place for former governors. And then most of the senators were past, they were coming from House of Reps. The National Assembly, particularly the Senate, is people full of experiences. For the Senate, you have mostly governors. And even the Senate, most of the senators were in the House of Reps before coming to Senate. So I want to believe that there's a lot of maturity, understanding, and patriotism in the minds of members of the Senate. And that's why people are expecting that we are supposed to be boxing. So long as you are laughing with the executive, you are weak. So long as you have a good rapport with the judiciary, all the other arms of government, you are weak. But I don't think it is right. I feel that at this very difficult period in our dear country, where the country is faced with numerous economic needs, and also insecurity, there's a total need for the three arms of government to come closer, work together for the benefit of the people. I think that we're all overwhelmed with insecurity, and we try as much as possible, members of the Senate, to cooperate with the executive to give the best to the people. We make the laws, and we don't make the laws to suit anybody, but we make the law to suit Nigerians. That's why when we were working on the electoral bill, so many people wanted us to just put real-time transmission. But we do know that the capacity to do that is not around, especially that elections are very close. There's no way you would say you'll be able to get all the equipment and then have them in all the over 290 something wards in the country. It's not possible. And therefore, and with the issue of network, if you put real time, it may end up being a technical. So when Nigerians are shouting that we're supposed to put real time, and people are coming here to demonstrate, we work on what is possible.
So you're saying that despite the huge amount that has been approved.
But the huge amount is for what?
For the elections, for
so
INEC.
They're itemized according to various section of needs. We are talking about the number of people that will undergo the election. We are talking about transportation. We are talking about maintaining security. We are talking about printing of ballot papers. We are talking about not orientation, but enlightenment program will come within the election. We are also talking about there may be rerun election in various places. What makes you to think? Did you see the title for ICT or equipment, supply of equipment there?
I don't know if you're aware, but in a previous interview by the former INEC chairman, he did say in that interview that the machines do not require internet. It can work.
Okay, I don't know.
So that is why a lot of Nigerians were agitated. I don't know,
because he's a historian. I don't know how true it is, but all we know is that there must be, it uses airtime. Yeah, it uses airtime. And the argument is about possibility of having network. That's what the argument was about.
Yes.
And I do know that as a representative of the people, I know of several villages of mine that do not have internet.
True.
And I know that especially when people are attacked in some of my communities, people need to run and climb a mountain to get connection. And if you would want to say that real-time transmission, you can easily get all those results from urban areas. It means that you are denying or providing lacuna for the rural votes. And that's why we said, yeah, transmission, but back up with the possibility of when it fails, we still come back to use EC at A form.
So are we
a
sure
source of
that this
material.
process is going to work?
It work. Let me tell you, the transition, the real transmit you're talking about is like snapping what has been computed and sending to IRF.
No, when I say I hope this is going to work, I'm referring to the part.
So I'm trying to say it works because
of the electoral malpractices.
I'm saying so, but malpractices are issue of character formation, and whatever you bring, anybody who wants to manipulate can manipulate. So it's about building, talking to character, changing attitude and mind of the people. Because whatever you're saying is human being understand. So it's more about that. But I assure you that all opportunities are available for everybody to checkmate, because the results at the pool unit and also at the coalition centers are guarded by agents of all contestants, and they sign that paper that what they are seeing on the sheet is what their candidates score, and you are snapping that one and send to IRF. So if you are saying, okay, send that result at real time to IRF, it depends on what was written there. Who computed? Suppose there are a lot of manipulation in the result that arrive, and you snap and send to IRF, what makes it perfect? The perfection is in the computing of the results, not about the sending. Not about the sending. It's about the computing the results. It's not about the sending. So what
I'm saying now is that character. Nigerians should look at the character, but we cannot carry character.
But let me tell you, what am I trying to say? Some people are very patriotic. Some people are patriotic, but we are not. It is failure of not being patriotic, not being a very sincere person. Those who manipulate the result, if they are of good character, will they do it? Those who agree to sell their votes, do they fear God? So if there will be fear of God in I and you.
There's hunger in the land.
Hunger cannot end, man. I don't think the hunger you are facing now is up to the hunger we faced during our time.
Tell me about the hunger you faced during
my sister, I saw milk for the first time when I went to secondary school. I've never seen powdered milk. And in my village in those days, you only see few families now will be able to afford eating rice on Christmas Day.
Isn't it almost the same thing right now?
No,
very many families could afford Christmas.
You're not sincere. You're not sincere. That people are seeing rice only on Christmas.
There are families who are seeing rice only on Christmas.
No. I don't think, where are the bush? Where are the rural people? I'm not saying the truth. And then let me tell you, we went to school without shoes. It's not everybody that has shoes.
Did you go to school without shoes?
But in my village. How many people will come to school with you? How many people will come with you? And people may have shoes. In my own village, when we were small, there's this type of scales on our leg. If you put Vaseline, you will not hold it. You will not hold it. They will soak uniform for you to do Christmas. So have you only used your uniform on Christmas Day, then you go to school with it? Habama, there were no hospitals. There were no clinics. If you are sick, they carry you on a wreck. You will be carrying a sick patient, traveling kilometers to go to hospital. But in almost everywhere, there's a primary health care center.
At this primary health care you talked about,
you have nurses.
Do they have the right equipment?
You have nurses. But in those days, we have traditional healers. Let me tell you, my mother lost a pregnancy. It was a traditional ruler that was evacuating her, pouring some slimy water in his hand to evacuate my mother. The world have changed. We are only comparing where we are and where America is. We are only aware that with the wealth God had given to us, we would have been better than that. But you cannot say we are like yesterday. Were there cars? We trek. If they give you bicycle, they send you on bicycle to go to the next market, you are so happy. If we still bicycle to ride, If anybody hang his bicycle, careful, and any enter, will carry it and learn how to ride bicycle. Now, if you ask children, you send a child on bicycle to go to market, will you go? There's a lot of changes, man. The only thing is that we can be better than what we are.
Are we
That if we manage,
better?
no, we can be better than what we are. So if we manage the naturally gifted resources, we'll be at the better pedestal. But we are better than what we were.
How can we manage these resources? I mean, what is the
Character,
government doing to
character,
manage these resources?
attitude.
Aside from
Being
character,
sincere, it's character.
what's the government's position?
Leadership in character. If you have a leader who has character, if you have followers who have character, all will be well.
Are you saying that our leader does not have character?
No, madam. Even if your leader is good and the followers are not good, will he do it alone? I'm a senator here. Can I change the entire society if the system has not changed? So look at it, man. It has to be about all of us. The leader and followership, it has to be all of us, man.
All right, welcome back. That was quite an extensive conversation with Senator Diket Plang. And let's now go to the part where we get to verify some of this information. Now, one of the things we try to do is after talking to your representative, it's always very important, you know, to hear from you to be sure if what they've said they've done is actually what they've done. Now, I took a long ride, you know, to clarify some of this information. He did mention that he has, you know, created employment opportunities for about 130 people in his senatorial district. He talks about sending about 4 people abroad to India specifically for their education, which of course is a project. He terms it his personal project, which he's going to be doing for his people. He also talks about how fencing of schools, you know, to curb insecurity, because, I mean, if you have open fences, how do you intend to protect students from schools from insecurity if their fences are not even built? And he talks about what he has done in the area of agriculture and you know, health and giving back to the people. Now, we spoke to some persons. We spoke to Daniel Tonga, who of course is in Pangshi, and amongst all of these things, he mentioned that he doesn't believe that it is 100. According to Daniel, he says, I mean, 130. He believes that the number is about 100, not up to 130. Well, it's not left for you to know if it's a plus or minus. Well, 130, 100, well, not so bad. And then he also agreed to the fact that, yes, 4 people were sent abroad. I think that from all of the conversations we've had, the spokesperson from Mangu, Kanke, and Pangshi, they all agreed to one thing, that he is trying his best. But that will not be all. We're going to call someone, Joshua, who of course is a part of the senatorial district. We're going to talk to him right now on the phone to, you know, put a voice to all of these conversations. We just hope that he's available to talk to us right about now. Yes. Good evening, Mr. Joshua.
Good evening.
Yes. So it's so great to have you join us on the show. Yes. So we just want to very briefly, you know, talk to you about the activity of the senator representing Plateau Central in person of Diket Plang.
All right. If you ask me about my assessment of the senator, I will say the senator is doing well. However, there is always room for improvement.
Okay.
When we say someone is doing well, it doesn't mean that's the end of it. We can't improve. No. The senator can do better.
So in what areas do you think that you would want him to focus on in improvement?
All right. For the senator, I would want him to improve on community engagement.
Okay.
You know, when there are issues in the National Assembly, as a representative of the people, what we expect is for you to come and have a town hall with different groups in the community. You can have such town halls with the youth, you can have it with the women groups, you can have it with the persons with disabilities, and different categories in the constituency, so that you have an idea of what you go and represent them about.
And he has not been doing that. He has not been coming down to the grassroots level to have these conversations.
the best of my knowledge, I have not seen that.
Okay. So you are in Mangu, right?
Yes.
You are Mangu. Okay. All right. So but when it comes to the employment of 130 people, what do we say about that?
All right. It's a laudable initiative. However, I have my personal reservations about such gestures.
Okay. But so if you are to rate your senator from, let's say, from 1 to 100, what would you give to him?
About securing employment opportunities?
No. Generally, if you're to rate
generally.
Yes.
Oh, I'll give him a pass mark. I'll give him 70 and above.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that means you just want more community engagement.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua.
I don't know if you want me to talk about the employment opportunities, so that I'll give you my own perspective.
Okay, please. 1 minute. Let's do that.
All right. So, you see, Nigeria and Nigerian politicians has made employment a tool that they use to get young people and their electorates closer to themselves. And this particular practice has eroded the place of meritocracy in our system, where you see politicians who go and hijack recruitment processes and give it to people who are their loyalists and their supporters.
Wow.
While in the real sense of it, we're supposed to leave it open. A lawmaker has no business giving people jobs. It's not bad for you to put in words for people, but when we make it as if that is what they should be doing, they will come and hand you appointment letter, you snap pictures and upload on social media. Come on, that's not what we should be doing as a people.
Okay. All right, so you just don't think that is the right way to go?
That's not the right way, in my opinion.
All right, thank you so much. But don't you think that because he's also the chairman of the Senate Committee on Employment, Labor, and the like, maybe that's why he's doing that?
Well, he's not the only one doing it. So that's why I'm excusing him for that.
Okay.
But I'm giving you my own perspective. I said that should not be what we should be seeing in Nigeria generally.
That's true. That's true. Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua. Thank you so much for, adding your contribution to this conversation. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, have a great evening. Well, that's it. And I think with that, it would be safe to say that we should draw the curtain on the conversation today. Thank you to all the persons who granted me audience when I called to them to verify some of this activity of the senator right there in Plateau State. It is NAS Watch. We'll do our best to, speak to your representative and also get to find out how true the validity of all the activities that they claim to bring to you. Well, I think the senator has gotten a pass mark for this one. And with that, I'll tell you, thank you so much for staying with us on NAS Watch. My name is Cynthia Agbo. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. A repeat of the program will come to you on Sunday at 7 p.m. also. And from me to you, do have yourself a beautiful weekend ahead.